All right. That was Mercedes by Spells and Curses. What are you doing over there, Matt?
I didn't have the window selected.
Oh.
But yes, Spells and Curses.
We'll have them on here shortly.
Coming up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So what's up?
Living the dream, bud. Living the dream. Yeah, it's Friday. 3-day weekend.
That's true. That is true.
I've waited for that 3-day weekend for months.
I hope it's everything that you wished for.
Probably not.
All right. So I guess we should get into it because they're going to be on here shortly. So
yeah, we should. We should get into On This Day in Music.
Go for it, bud.
September 1st, 1957. Mm-hmm. The biggest show of Stars package. Tour kicked off at Brooklyn Paramount featuring Buddy Holliday, the Crickets, the Drifters, the Everly Brothers, and Frankie Lyman. On some dates, artists were unable to play because of segregation. That's sad.
Yeah. That's crappy. September 1st, 1966. The Who's single, I'm a Boy, entered the UK chart, peaking at number 2, giving the band their second number 2 hit. I got a delay in my headphones. The song was originally intended to be a part of a rock opera called Quads, which was to be set in the future where parents can choose the sex of their children. That's different.
Interesting. September 1st, 1966. The Byrds played the first of an 11-night run at the Whiskey A Go-Go, Hollywood, California. The Whiskey A Go-Go opened in 1964 with a live band led by Johnny Rivers and a short-skirt female DJ spinning records between sets from a suspended cage. When the girl began to dance during Rivers' set, the audience thought it was part of the act, and the concept of go-go dancers in cages was born.
I never knew that. That's
Me either.
September 1st, 1974, the Osmonds were at number 1 on the UK single charts with the Johnny Bristol song "Love Me for a Reason." The group's only UK number 1, also a UK number 2 hit for Boyzone in 1994.
This one's a doozy. September 1st, 1976. Wish You Were Here was close to spending 1 year on the UK chart. Pink Floyd's 9th studio had been premiered at, I did it to myself this week, Nebworth.
That's what you get.
Premiered at Nebworth in July 1975 and was released in September that year. It was an instant success, with record company EMI unable to press enough copies to satisfy demand. The artwork for the album package was once again created by the Hypnoxis team, who created a series of... What is that?
I don't know. You typed it.
Who created... I think it was... Oh, man.
Table locks?
Series of table locks based on absence, including the empty gesture of a handshake between two U.S. businessmen, one of whom is on fire, a diver that causes no ripples, and a piece of gauze floating in the wind, photographed somewhere in Norfolk, UK.
That was a good one, bud. September 1st, 1980, Fleetwood Mac ended a 9-month world tour with a performance at the Hollywood Bowl. Lindsey Buckingham announced on stage, "This is our last show for a long time." Good old Fleetwood Mac.
Good old Fleetwood Mac. September 1st, 1984. After a 25-year career, Tina Turner had her first solo #1 single in the U.S. with "What's Love Got to Do With It?" You know that song?
I'm sure I do.
This song was originally written for Cliff Richard. However, the song was rejected, and it was then offered to Donna Summer, who has stated that she sat with it for a couple years but never recorded it.
Interesting. 2016, a blue plaque marking the first home Freddie Mercury lived in when he arrived in England has been unveiled. The Queen frontman moved to the semi-detached home in Feltham, West London, after his family left Zanzibar in 1964 when Mercury was 17.
Whose ham did you feel? You're like, don't get me twisted, dog.
That was today, right? Today's the first, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice.
1 year ago today.
Dang, you're on that news.
Yeah, I'm on it.
1 year ago today. There isn't a 1 year ago today.
I mean,
It would. Oh no, it was 2016. It was 1 year. It's 2017.
you're getting me all confused.
I don't know what year it is.
It's whatever you want it to be, man.
99.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a delay too.
I don't know. I think
Oh,
it's you know what I didn't do?
What's that?
I didn't hit record.
Oh, really?
So we're going to have to do this all again.
Sweet.
That's okay.
It's like that scene in Sandy Wexler.
Yeah, that's okay. We can do it after the live stream.
That's true.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Hey, man, it's Friday.
That's okay. It was still going out over the live stream, so that's all that really matters right now.
That's what matters.
I can actually just pull it off of the live stream later if I want to.
That's true.
So,
you could.
You know. Anyways, local spotlight real quick. September 1st and 2nd, Nawty will be performing at DT Kirby's Beach Food at Indiana Beach. Show starts at 9 p.m. No park admission, which actually the park's closed, I think, now.
Oh, is it?
I think so. So they're just open right now, but there's no cover. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Saturday, September 2nd, tomorrow. Von Strantz and Native Land will be performing at 6th Street Dive. The show starts at 10 p.m. No cover.
Sweet. September 8th. That's a Friday. Sweettalker will be performing at 6th Street Dive. Show starts at 10. No cover.
That's a Friday.
That's a Friday.
That's totally a Friday.
That is. Hey, that's. I'm glad I know that now because I got to make my car payment on the 8th, and I can wait until the next paycheck.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. Anyways.
So, last week we had a hell of a doozy.
We did. We had the live stream for the 1 year show, and it just got it went off the rails. Honestly, and
as expected.
It might have been my fault. I drank too much.
Well, everybody drank too much. There was 2 cases of beer.
Yeah, we had
for
some
everyone,
left, though.
even the guests.
Yeah.
You know, we had the pizza and the breadsticks and all the food downstairs. So people were just having a good time.
Yeah,
and that was the point.
Yeah.
Come hang out, have a good time, talk about your music.
Yeah, it was good. Michael
It's a good time.
was playing guitar for us, but then he decided that he was too drunk to do that.
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens.
I paced myself because I had to play later. So if I get too drunk, I just can't play. It's like if I get too drunk and try to play, it's like I've never played a guitar before. It's not good.
I should have played something then.
Yeah, you probably would have killed it.
I doubt it.
You'd be like, I've never played, and then start hammering out solos.
That would have been sweet.
Everybody would have been like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was a good time, though.
It was.
We had a lot of people here.
Dude, it was hectic.
We had Paul from
Wise Man's Fear.
Wise Man's Fear, but he was here on his other band, Whalebones.
For Whalebones.
And
oh, damn you, bottle.
we had Sojourner here. Did I say that right?
Sojourner?
I keep saying it wrong. And then we had Dustin that was in here.
We also had on First Ghost from Canada.
First Ghost. Yeah, that was our first guest.
Very first.
We had Jennifer in here again. So that was a good time. It was good all around.
No, Code Blue.
Code Blue. We had Code
Killed
Blue.
it at the end.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good stuff.
Feeling the booze at the end. We're all like...
I was like, yeah, I get it, Cody.
We're like, yeah, get swifty.
Yeah, it got out of hand.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. So we're gonna call the Rave from Spells and Curses here in a minute.
That we are.
I don't know why I keep like trying to say their name. I can't get spit it out for some reason. Every time I want to say the name of the band, I'm like, Spells and Curses. It's been a long week, even though
the name sticks with you though, so that's what matters.
yeah, it does. Yeah, it's just been one of them weeks.
Yeah, I think it's always one of those weeks.
And it's been a short week. Like I'm gonna have 3 short weeks in a row, and they're the longest weeks ever. Like I don't get it.
Why you got to rub it in?
It's not. It hasn't been good.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. You're like, all right, I got an extra day off, and it goes to hell.
My 4-day weekend went to crap. Besides doing the live show on Friday, the rest of the weekend was just crap for me. Well, heck, even Thursday night, the plates got stolen off my bike.
Oh yeah,
So
I forgot
Friday,
about that.
I had to go get new license plates, and it just
Who
went to
steals
crap.
a license plate?
I don't.
Especially
assholes.
for a motorcycle.
I don't know. It's just bullshit. That pissed me off.
That's crap.
Yeah, it's crap.
It's crap.
It's crap.
If anybody has that license plate, can you return it, please?
Well, it don't matter now. I don't want it back.
You're like, I got a new one.
Yeah, I don't want it back. It expires next month anyway, so have fun with
So
that.
joke's on them.
Yeah, for sure. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
Stupid.
But if you stole it, let me know. I'm gonna kick you in the dick.
Yeah. Or whatever you have down there.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Most women don't steal. I
True.
don't think things like that. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm just being, whatever. But I don't know. It's probably somebody I know too. It's probably like, oh, you screw him. I'm gonna steal his license plate.
We're like, how dare you? Ugh. This is mine now.
Yeah. And what really makes me mad is they stole the frame.
They stole the frame too?
The frame around it that came on my bike.
Did it say Harley Davidson?
Well, yeah, but I don't really care what it said. It just looked better with a frame around it. So now I gotta buy a new frame for it. And it's like, really? Thanks. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's crap.
Yeah, it's crap. Total crap.
It's crap.
Oh, well. But it's supposed to be nice Monday. I got a new plate on it. I'm going to be riding it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Doing wheelies.
I just haven't tried to do anything crazy on that. I haven't tried that.
Well, I mean, it's a Harley. It's not.
I've
meant
been
for
told
that.
it can do wheelies. Haven't tried it.
You've been told, but it's like, should I?
No. I haven't even done a burnout like on purpose. Like I've done small little ones like hitting like gravel or something, but
You treat it right.
yeah, I don't do none of that. Well, heck, I just had to spend like $700 getting it fixed, and the guy's like, I don't usually see this stuff happening unless people are like doing wheelies and crap.
And you're like, oh, I've never done a wheelie, but thanks.
But
that
I'm
means
thinking,
I
like-
will not ever do a wheelie.
I was thinking like, what did this guy do to it before I had it? Just riding wheelies everywhere.
Doing endos and backflips.
Yeah, because like the whole
Travis Pastrana had it.
man
Makes sense, though.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because it was like he's like, man, I don't see because like the whole like primary case had to be rebuilt and the chain was. He's like the chain's all stretched out, and I'm like, how do you stretch a chain out? And he goes, usually when people ride them real rough, and I'm like, I don't do that.
You're like, I don't do that.
I mean, I'll get on it a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Right.
I don't want to be going. I don't want to be that guy on the news.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. So you know how it is.
Right.
But I guess we'll give him a call here. Where'd my Google Hangouts thing go? Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Where did you go?
Uh-oh.
Well, I gotta get it.
We lost the Hangouts. We lost the spot.
Hopefully it doesn't make any weird noises here while I'm doing this.
It probably will.
Yeah, I don't want an introduction to Google Hangouts. Thank you.
I've already been through this.
There we go. There it is. All right, let's. I don't know if he's listening. I'm just gonna tell him. Calling in a second here. All right, so we got the Rave coming in from Spells and Curses. Make sure he's still here real quick. I don't want to surprise him.
Somebody told me to say that word. Say what word?
Huh? Say
Somebody
what
in
word?
the chat. What word do you want me to say?
I'll say all kinds of words. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Got to put the Grant filter on.
I got a lot of things I can say. I'm not in the chat. I should open up the chat here.
You should.
Where's
Get all chatty.
the Twitch twatch here? Let's see
The what?
here. I don't know. All right. Do you have us on? We don't. It says we're offline, bud.
How are we offline?
I don't know. It says we're offline. You tell me.
I'm watching it right now on my
I know
phone.
you are, but mine's being stupid. Go to the. Gosh.
Jeez.
Live. Oh, here we go. There it is, right there.
You know, I wonder
Welcome
if I
to the chat
forgot.
room.
I did. I forgot to put us online.
Better turn the volume down.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to
Since we were
switch
offline.
that. I
That's
always
okay,
forget.
because
I always forget.
It showed us live still, so I don't think it really matters.
Right.
All right, you ready to call them?
Let's do it.
Let's quit being weird.
Yeah, we'll have the chat box up on the side so everybody could see. What did I say? Like box.
Got that box. It doesn't ring or anything.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ringing.
So holler at us if you're when you answer. Am I doing this right? Oh, join Hangout. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, you there? Maybe. Has he? I don't know if it's answered yet. It doesn't do any noises or
Right.
anything. It's weird. I think I have everything set up right. Oh. There we go.
Hello?
There we go. Sorry, I had I had the channel muted. I was like, why can't I hear anything?
What's up?
Oh, just trying to. I don't know. We're just having. It's just a Friday for me. Nothing goes.
Just shooting the shit. That's all good.
All right. Yep. Okay. We got you. It's recording. All right. Yeah. I like the first 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I didn't even click record on my computer. So.
It's Friday. You have the day off. It's totally cool.
Man, Fridays never go right for me. I don't know why. It's supposed to be a good day, and it just everything goes weird.
Freaky Friday, man. It's not even Friday the 13th. We were supposed to have a show on October the 13th, but that's still in the works. Possibly or possibly not. So
That would be pretty sweet.
yeah, that would have been a lot of fun. It's looking like it might not happen though, because our bassist is going to be busy, and then we have other stuff that because we're currently in the process of like recording new stuff. So it's not looking like it's going to be a thing, but we might have a Halloween show coming up.
Nice.
That's an exclusive for you guys.
That's awesome. Well, I guess we should say we have the Rave on the line here from Spells and Curses.
Hi.
Oh, I'm making sure everything's working here. Okay. Making sure you're loud enough.
Cool.
All right. So we got some questions for you, I suppose, here. Matt,
Let's do this.
Should probably bring it up, right?
Pull
So you
those
can.
I know I'm pretty sure I know what the first one is. Can you tell us how the band formed and everything?
Okay. Well, the band started as not a band. It started more or less with the music, and the music came about more or less the therapeutic purposes for myself. Basically, in the beginning, there was just one, and it was just me sort of making music to sort of work out some feelings I had at the time because the first album, I suppose, I wrote a lot of the songs and recorded a lot of the songs at a time when things were kind of falling apart in my life, and I was experiencing some traumas, and just experiencing the traumas of going through life, and just being grinded by it. And one of the grinders was experiencing loss for the first time. Up until that point, I was very fortunate enough not to have to deal with, losing a family member or, dealing with personal stuff that, kind of signaled the end of things. And without getting too dramatic, it was just a very, very personal time, and I didn't know how to express myself or deal with it. And one of the things I sort of did was I kind of resorted to doing what I felt I did best at the time, and that was just record music for myself. And I did. I just locked myself up in a basement and just worked on some songs, and then picked like the best 5 and added some extra tracks as well to the album, and pretty much made it for myself, right? Just kind of like working on an art project for myself to see how I'd feel at the end of it, and then just kind of I sent it out to friends because I was very proud of what I did, and I sent it out to friends because I thought it was a very beautiful kind of expression of what I was going through, and they really liked it enough that they kind of encouraged me to release it on a wider level and distribute it through like Bandcamp and stuff. And then when we did that, it had a pretty good reception, and then got people interested in playing live shows, like musicians hitting me up asking me to like pretty much asking me if I'm playing live shows. And up until that point, again, that was not really part of the plan. I didn't have a plan, so to speak, which is kind of weird to admit, but people dug it. And so, formed a band together around the music. And then we started doing shows based off of that. And then a little bit after that, we just released it worldwide through like Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. And then, I've been rocking and rolling since, and released a second album not too long ago.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to start. You kind of just did it for yourself, and
yeah, more or less. It was just sort of exploring a side of I suppose myself and what I can possibly feel that I haven't necessarily done before. I mean, again, I was very, very fortunate in my life that I never experienced, for example, losing like my grandfather died, right? And you only have 2 grandfathers, and thankfully I still have the other. But he was a very important person in my life, and when he passed away, that was very kind of it was a tough blow because he was like a second dad to me.
Right.
I mean, he did raise me. So yeah, like that, along with just some other personal stuff going on at the time, there was no other way for me to express that or exercise those demons, so to speak, aside from music. So yeah, it did start off in a very unintentional, therapeutic kind of way in a basement.
that's great. What's some of your musical background? Like, do you play a lot of different instruments, or?
I do play a lot of different instruments, more or less for necessity, just because like I couldn't find anybody else who can play bass at a particular time that I need them to play bass for a track. This is, of course, when I'm discussing the first album when I didn't have a band.
Right.
So I'd pick up the bass and I'd lay down the tracks and put some keys on it, put some drums on it. And I've always dabbled around with different instruments, but my primary weapon of choice has always been the guitar. And I mean, I only really started singing because playing around in bands, we'd basically, you'd form a band with your friends, and then everybody would go like, okay, I'll play bass, I'll play drums. I had a guitar and I was pretty good. And so I'd be like, okay, I'd play guitar. And then we'd kind of look at each other and we go, well, who's going to sing? And I just was like, I guess I'll do it if no one else will. So yeah, and that's how that started. In terms of like influences, I'd say, I mean, there's always been a wide range of influences. But back in my day, back in high school, I really, 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 really dug, Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, just being an angry kid was where it was at for me. And so yeah, I mean, like I think you could kind of hear some of the stuff in some of the tracks we've done, particularly on the new album. But if I were to say like who is the main sort of artistic influence with what I'm trying to say with my music and all that stuff, I would say that it would be Prince. And I've said this a million times, but Prince is my guy. I'm completely obsessed with him. He's the guy whose name I put into YouTube when I have nothing to do, and I just go on a rabbit hole journey of Prince videos and live shows and all that stuff, because he's kind of the artist that I would truly sort of love to become, and that is sort of an all-encompassing artist, an artist who sort of handles multi-genre music and can write different sounding songs and navigate. He's throughout all his albums, he's navigating his signature sound, but there's always a bit of experimentation happening with each album. And that's something I love. I love hearing that. I love hearing his journey as an artist, how he develops creatively. And you also hear sort of like him, despite what people may say, he did listen to what was going on at the time, right? Like what were the hits of the day, so to speak. Like for the 90s, he'd insert some rap music, even though he didn't really like rap, but he'd experiment with it because it was a new color to paint with. Or the New Jack Swing thing, which was big in the 90s. Again, I could talk about Prince for like days, but yeah, Prince is my guy.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with Prince.
No,
I mean, you really can't.
Absolutely.
So do you have any outside of music influences, do you have anything that influences the music that you do?
That's a really good question. That's a question that not a lot of people ask me, and I would say that for the most part, it is influenced more or less. Each album sort of has its own theme and concept that I deal with. I would say that a lot of the themes, in terms of how I present them, they're I guess presented through my perspective, and my perspective at the time is sort of influenced by the dreams I have, which is kind of like a hippie way of saying that dreams, I guess, would be the answer. But there's always like something I feel that's almost kind of sacred with regards to where your headspace is at subconsciously when you're creating a piece of art or recording an album, especially because you're sort of pouring yourself into the music, right? And so whatever you're trying to say, sometimes like it comes out one way, but the intention's different. And one of the things I've sort of tried doing with the last album was keeping a dream journal. And so like that would be, and I've never done that before, and I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it's really weird, because I remember going to sleep, waking up, and groggy as hell every morning, just writing down what I dreamt about,
right?
And then just like writing a song, and then kind of looking back at my journal, going like, I think I saw, like, because you're trying to paint scenes with your music, you're trying to make an audio sort of movie, and so when I try to describe something, I'm like, that kind of, I feel like I have the picture in my head, but I can't describe it. And I go back to the dream journal. I'm like, oh shit, look at that. On Tuesday, I dreamt something similar. And basically I plagiarize off myself. So it's all good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never tried that, but
I kind of want to do that now, because I have some really intense dreams sometimes.
Right? Me too.
If you want to hear something crazy, I know people I don't know people. I've read that people do the dream journal thing, and then there's a way of sort of logging a dream journal and sort of actively keeping account of what you allow yourself to think and dream about, such to the point where you can sort of develop the skill of lucid dreaming, which is basically where you're in the dream and you can control everything that's going on. It's kind of like an Inception thing, and you can make the walls jump, and you can make yourself fly. And I haven't gotten to that point quite yet, but I mean that sounds awesome. I definitely would like to try that one day.
I've heard about it, but I don't. Yeah, I've never tried it. It would be cool to be able to control your dreams.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of those things like meditation. Like everyone says it's awesome, but it's just really hard to do because it's so simple.
I've been trying that lately. Like,
what, meditation?
Yeah, like this past, like I've just started trying it, and it's
what kind?
I don't. It's like an app on my phone that like kind of guides you through trying to do it.
Okay, cool. Because I mean, there's different kinds of. Because I've really been getting into. I've been really getting into meditation recently as well for the next album, because it kind of deals with sort of like the inner spirit and stuff like that. But The best way of just doing meditation, I find, is the simplest, and it's because it's the simplest to explain. It's just so hard, and it's just like just to sit and not do anything, and like if a thought comes in your mind, just let it pass, and all that stuff is so easy to explain, but so hard to do.
That's what this is.
Yeah. So I mean, like that's usually the people's primary introduction into meditation. It's just so what's the word? Counterintuitive to what I suppose Western culture teaches us, which is to always be awake, always be working, always come up with that new $1 million idea, or whatever. But yeah, man, it's definitely awesome that you're getting into that. Not a lot of people do that, and it's bad because like self-reflection and consciousness is a very important thing, I think.
It's interesting, even in this, I've only been doing it for 5 days, and
5 days straight.
Yeah.
Very good, man. Props to you. I'm clapping for you, right?
It's only like 10 minutes at a time, but
still, man, that's how it starts. 10 minutes, then up it to 11, 13, etc. Before you know it, you'll be one of those Tibetan monks who can meditate for the whole day.
It's cool because it teaches you how to kind of like when it's doing it, it tells me like you get that thought in your head, and then you kind of like note that you got that thought, and then you move back to just focusing on breathing and whatnot. It's kind of cool, and it comes in handy when I get pissed off at work. So
absolutely, yeah. And that's something I read. Also, something else about those thoughts that fuck with our minds and stuff, and give us sort of negative feedback on what we're doing or how we're feeling. I read this really powerful thing, and it kind of ties in with meditation. And meditation sort of makes you realize and enforce this idea, and that idea is that thought, or that voice rather, that's telling you those thoughts like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have done that. That's not you, right? It's a completely separate voice. It's a completely separate entity from who you really are. That's just in your head, and their sole purpose is to just fuck you up, more or less, in a manner of speaking. So to like the way to, I guess, handle that voice isn't to ignore it, and it isn't even to combat it. It's just to sort of acknowledge it's there and then move on.
Yeah, that's exactly what this has been doing. It's like you acknowledge the thoughts that you're having. Like, I'll be sitting there doing this thing, and all the crappy thoughts that I've been having throughout the day, it'll be like, oh, you acknowledge them, but then you just kind of, you don't forget about them, you don't ignore them, but you just like, oh, they're there, and then you go back to your thing.
And in all these thoughts, that they clutter up your mind, and when you can meditate and sort of rearrange the room that is your mind, you have more space to come up with new ideas and new perspectives. It's really great, man. I'm really happy that you're doing it for yourself, man.
Yeah, it's been good.
Matt, you should do it too.
Yeah,
gotta get in on the meditation bandwagon.
I mean, I got the time.
Really, I do it. I was doing it in the mornings, but then it's like, it's too early. I don't want to do it. So now I'm doing it at night. So
the hardest part is just not falling asleep while you're doing it. That's the hardest part for me.
Wakes me up. I don't know.
Really?
Why?
Man, you might be built for this then. That's great.
But yeah. So anyway, we can talk about this all night.
Hey, yeah, you're talking to the right guy about it.
So when you write your music, do you have any certain process that you take?
A process? No, there's never like one way. People always ask. For example, people always ask me like, what comes first, the lyrics or the music, and it's different all the time. Sometimes one will come before the other, and then it'll be completely different for the next song. But for me, the thing that sort of remains consistent is sort of just the idea of capturing the emotion that you want to convey, because that idea is always the same. So it's about like if for example an emotion or a scene in my life, or just an idea that I have and I want to make a song out of, if I want to make a song out of it, the sort of kind of premise behind what I do is basically take not a picture of that, but just that whole sort of like play-by-play sort of video kind of thing in my mind, and like put it in like a little mental bottle, like a glass jar or whatever, and hold it in there, and then just go sit down with my guitar and then just start working on it on the piano or something like that. And then you leave it in that jar and you temper it with I guess audio magic, and then before you know it, you have something that you feel comfortable with presenting to the world in a more digestible form. and that's just a funny way of saying that when I try to record music, the main thing I try to get down is just that feeling of like, oh shit, or oh wow. When I shock myself, or when I sort of like please my own ear and my own musical sensibilities as a fan, and when I could do that over and over again, when I listen to the track, when I listen back to it especially, that's when I know I got something. So I'd like lay a track down, have a demo down, leave it for 1 or 2 days, come back to it, listen back to it, and go, okay, how's it making me feel? Okay, I still like it. And then the next day, if I still like it, it can't have a dip. You can't have a dip in enthusiasm, because then you won't carry that song to the finish line. At least I won't. So as long as that's still there, that enthusiasm, that like feeling of, oh shit, I got the idea down and I'm doing it justice. When I have that, I know I'm onto something, and that's really kind of like the only process that stays consistent for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
awesome. Are your songs typically about anything? I mean, we kind of covered, through influences and dreaming, but,
yes, but I mean, like every song is kind of unique in the sense that they all kind of address different things. Like our songs are, I guess you could say that they make up different genres. They play with different genres and different soundscapes and frequencies, even, if you will. I mean, we
Right.
experimented with the science behind audio as well, particularly on the first album. But I mean, like when you zoom out from that perspective, it's the meaning behind the songs really sort of orbit around the theme of the album. So every album has its own main theme or main concept, if you will, and every album is a concept album because it does tell one story. But when you break down sort of the tracks that make up that main story, they have a story within themselves. And so, for example, with Sudad, the first album, the main sort of idea or theme was that longing for something that you never had, something that you never felt or experienced, but wanting it. It's just this weird feeling that is experienced by some people, but it just like kind of doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name or a word in English that describes it. And it's just that feeling of just intense yearning or desire or longing for something that you just never experienced or got to know. And so all the songs were different or exploring different variations of that idea, be it love, dreams, aspirations, revenge, loss, all these different things. And with Sinful Things, it's more or less about, I guess, rectifying sin and willfulness in terms of just being with somebody. And well, I mean, that's the simplest way of describing it, and all the songs kind of fall in line that way.
Nice. So I think I kind of know how you feel about streaming, but is there anything? Sorry, Matt had to step out for a second. What do you think?
Okay?
Yeah, I think he's having an allergy fit.
Yeah. Allergies to what?
Everything. He's allergic to everything.
Damn. Shit.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So how do you feel about online streaming and all of that?
Online streaming is a double-edged sword. When you look at how ubiquitous it got, you can kind of see the benefit. And the benefit is that it is everywhere, and it's mostly good because it offers you a wide selection of different music from different artists whenever you want, wherever you want. Mm-hmm. And like you can't deny that. I mean, like if you were to explain that to somebody 10 years ago, not even 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? If you explain that to somebody 20 years ago, they would not understand what the hell you're talking about. That would seem impossible.
Right.
But like it's just goes to show you how far along we've come with regards to integrating technology and utilizing it to sort of move forward musical culture, I guess. So that's clearly the good side of it, but there obviously are bad sides to it. And the main one for me is the fact that because it's so convenient, the convenience of streaming kind of kills the intimacy of music. And what I mean by the intimacy of music is, I mean, like, for example, the ritual that was once there when you had to like go to a record store and then pick out the track or not the track, the album, speak to somebody about it, their thoughts, or back in the day you
Yeah.
had to actually like sample the album
I remember
in
that.
one of the in the little kiosks, and you could go like,
Yeah.
oh, this track's actually not that bad and stuff like that. So there was like a ritual behind it, and sort of like you had something at stake every time you bought the album, and then you go back home, you put that CD, because that's how I listened to it back in the day. You put that CD in your
Right.
computer, and then just like you'd sit down and you'd sort of like enjoy it. It would be a part of your day. It would be a part of it would be your night. It would be your Friday night sort of activity, so to speak. And that intimate ritual is no longer there in music, and you can argue that, I mean, it's no longer there because it's no longer a reflection of how we consume any kind of media, which is understandable. But yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to sort of not lose that. And like now everybody's going back to vinyl and having you can see basically how people who are sort of fans of vinyl, they're the ones who sort of don't want to lose that ritual, don't want to lose that intimacy that they have with the music. So with regards to my opinion, I mean, like, I see both sides. I haven't really like given too much thought about how I feel about it, to be honest. It's kind of just one of those things where it's like it's kind of a mess. I suppose I can just tell you that, at least from the professional side of things, they are sort of paying us pennies, well, fractions upon decimals upon pennies to the dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. But aside from that, I mean, it kind of is one of those things where it's like, it is what it is. And when you live in the modern day world, you can't help but sort of be optimistic that somebody is going to fix it. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's going to come up with a better system.
Right.
But like, again, like as far as I am concerned, it's kind of like one of those things where I don't want to say I don't care, but it kind of doesn't really concern me, because like the way I look at my sort of responsibility is it's to make the medicine, right? Not to peddle it out. It's not my job how you consume it or how you get it. My job is to make it, and once it gets into your hands, whatever happens with it from that point on is your choice.
Nice. I forgot about those little kiosks where you could listen to the album a little bit before you bought it.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
those were clutch back in the day.
That was, I always did that. Like, you'd go
At
to
Hot
the
Topic?
store. Yeah, Hot Topic had it. You go in there and you could. I don't remember how it worked.
You know,
Did
you want to hear something really funny? I was at a Hot Topic. Don't ask me why. I was at a Hot Topic very recently, actually, and it looks nothing like
No.
it did back in the day.
No.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
so different, and that's not a bad thing, right? I mean, businesses have to evolve, but it's just like,
Right.
damn. I remember when Hot Topic, even though it was kind of like not my scene, like it was about a different kind of culture, and now it's
Yeah.
about a completely different kind of culture.
It used to
I
be-
mean, it's all good.
When we were in high school, it was like more like gothic.
It's still
stuff.
kind of that. It's still kind of that, but just not as much, I suppose.
But-
It's more. I don't want to talk shit about Hot Topic. You know, do what you got to do. But like,
Yeah.
it seems like they're aiming their stuff more towards like middle school girls.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
What about the fellas? You know.
It used to be more. They used to have more of the music that I liked back then. I guess now, because now I'm older too, so it's like it's not gonna
Right.
be those. I'm not going to be into the music they have.
Yeah, now you're like,
probably.
what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
I
is
don't
this
know,
what
man.
my
Yeah.
parents felt like?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So there's actually someone in the stream that has a question for you.
Oh, I see that.
Let's see. What does it say
It
here?
says, which musician is your number one influence in making music? And what's your guilty pleasure song?
Okay, so number one, thank you very much, Sempiternalimerence. I don't even know if I pronounced that right.
No. idea.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry if I
Hey, you
killed that.
tried, though.
I did. So I'd say, I guess, you know, the answer that I gave already is kind of sufficient. Prince, my guy, he's incredible. He's the ultimate musician. He could do anything and everything musically better than anyone. And the fact that he can sort of dip his toes into different kind of musical genres and make it something that's incredible each time is enough to call him my number one influence, I guess. Especially for right now and what we're trying to do with the music. And what is my number one guilty pleasure song? You know that song by Shawn Mendes, "There's Nothing Holding Me Back." That is such a good song.
Nice.
There's nothing holding me back. Da, 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 da. It's really good. It's really good. It's a fun song. And you know what? I don't believe in guilty pleasures. If you like it, you fucking like it. Listen to it. Blast it in your car. It's fucking awesome. It's a great song. It really is.
For sure. So how would you say, or how do you guys normally do your band promotions for your shows and everything?
Well, with regards to promoting shows, I mean, we live in a new age, right? I mean, we live in the technology age, and there's a lot of, I suppose, avenues of promotion that are available to us now that weren't before. And I see more of the pros than the cons, to be honest, with regards to how technology changed music, in that sense, because it's, I think, only helped, because ideally the goal for social media and technology was to bring people together. And so it's a lot easier to get the message, for example, about your show out to more people, and especially people who are interested in what you do, a lot easier. So, I mean, for example, we have our social media, right? We're at Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram. We're always at spellsandcurses.com. We got that domain, right? Except for our website, which is spellsandcurse.es, because spellsandcurses.com is being sat on by a squatter who, if he's listening, he wants $10,000. He can bite it. He can bite it, man.
Wow.
So yes. And I would say, yeah, I mean, like social media, we have a mailing list. We keep busy with that. And we are, verified on Bands in Town, Songkick. But the number one thing I think that hasn't changed is, you know, when you play a good show, when you play a memorable kick-ass show, the number one way to promote it, the number one thing that's going to happen as a result of that, that's going to serve as promotion for you, is going to be word of mouth. And that's something that I think hasn't changed and won't ever change. I mean, I've seen the sort of, I've seen that in action. I've seen that happen where we put on a show where, and I'll be the first to tell you I'm our toughest critic, but when we put on a show where we were fucking on, we hear about it and people hear about it, and you could, nowadays, another great thing about social media is like you could actually see the numerical evidence of people talking about it, right? On Twitter, on Instagram, tagging you on Facebook posts, all that stuff. You can see people talking about it and how well the show was received, and how people just vibe to what you did that particular moment. You collaborated on a moment with people, and they felt it, and they felt it enough to share it. And when they share with their friends, if their friends are interested, then they'll come to a show. If you put on another show that's just as great, that's really sort of the best promotion there is.
Agreed.
Awesome. Yeah. Looks like we got another question on the chat. Man, I can't pronounce this one either.
Let's see. That says Camilla Ho. Let's see. That she is asking, or he, can't tell, what's the next big thing for the rave? Well, Camilla Ho, the next big thing for the rave, a few big things. Namely, I have dinner planned out for me. That's the most immediate. That's the most immediate thing. I think I'm having a lean chicken with some greens. Got to keep it sexy. And then after that, I believe I'm going to lay down some quick demo tracks and then see what's happening with the rest of the night. But I mean, right now we're very much involved with recording, or in the process of recording, the principal tracks and demos for the next album. So that's sort of taking up a lot of time.
Awesome.
Thanks for the question, Camellia Ho.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite show that you've played? Or
actually, I do have a favorite show, and it happened. It was our third to last show. The other two after that were great too, but the one in July, we played a show in this lounge called Vinyl, and it was a 2-hour set. And one of the great things that sort of worked to our benefit was that we were allowed to bring in our own sound guy, and his name is Mike, and I've known him for since high school, and he's just like a sound whiz. But one of the cool things is that he's also a fan of the music, and so he understands our sound and our style and what we try to convey with the music. And he just also has experience in live sound. So just like the blending of his knowledge of not only the technical side of I guess the technical side of live music and its presentation to an audience, married with the fact that he understands what we're going for and trying to do, it really set up for an awesome night where we basically ran through a lot of our songs. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I mean, we had rock songs that were heavy. We had soft songs that were sort of croony. We played some dancey songs. We had some fun covers. And it was just the best time because I felt like at that particular show in vinyl, we gave people sort of, I guess, the best, most complete version of what the Spells and Curses vibe is.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a great time.
That's awesome. So do you have any advice that you'd give to other musicians that are maybe starting out or trying to get their band going?
I feel really weird giving anybody advice about anything. Quite honest. I don't think I'm the guy to ask. But if I had to, I suppose, gun to my head, give anybody advice about the music industry or just playing music, it would be have as much fun as possible, because it's just, let me put it to you this way. Musicians pick up music or pick up an instrument and start to play and start to create art because it was fun. It spoke to something within them, the inner artist or what have you. There was something that connected you to wanting to make that art. And so that starts off as being fun. And the moment you start taking something that's fun, and I don't want to say monetizing it, but sort of involving it into your day-to-day professionally, where you kind of have to sort of regiment it, it's very easy for it to not become fun. And pile that on top of the fact that there's also the business side of the music industry. That's not necessarily the most fun thing to deal with either, especially if you just care about, in my situation, I'm going to speak with regards to just music, right? When you want to just make music and record, play shows, practice, write songs, when you want to just be a musician, the business side of things can bog you down, and it can really bum you out. Not even bum you out, but just zap you of energy, just handling that stuff. For example, like sending emails and stuff like that. That's not something that you signed up for. And then on top of that, you come across people who aren't, the coolest people to hang out with. It's all a matter of just keeping your energy up by it. And the best way to do that, I think, is just to have as much fun as possible. Surround yourself with people who, for example, if they vibe with you, or if they're a fan, or they want to jam with you, ride with them, because 9 times out of 10, I'd say it's because of something more than the music. The music is sort of the initial gateway into meeting each other, or understanding each other. But the music is also sort of, I feel, indicative, or the tip of the iceberg of something that's much more deeper for both parties, where it is a sign that you guys are connecting, or able to connect on something much deeper and more meaningful. So that would, I guess, be the other piece of advice, is if you meet somebody who supports the music, or likes the music, or wants to jam with you, cherish that and don't dismiss it. So be nice to your fans, be nice to other musicians, I guess.
That's great advice.
Definitely.
Really? I feel like that was kind of.
No, that was great. Seriously.
I don't want to say. Cool. I'm glad I could offer whoever's listening something.
Right. Looks like there's another question in the chat from.
Oh, cool. It's from Semperina Metallamarenis.
Yeah.
I will never get that. I'm so sorry.
Right. They said, that person said, if you could switch lives with anyone for one day, who would it be? What would you be doing, and why? Oh shit!
You know what? I actually thought about this not too long ago, and I forgot. Well, the obvious answer again would be Prince, but I'm not going to say that because I feel like he could be the answer for anything. But I'm going to come up with a new one. Oh, and I had a different one that was a really good one too. I suppose. Wait, does it have to be from the present day? Could it be from the past?
Let's just say anytime.
Anytime? Okay, so if it could be from any time, I would like to have just been like, I guess Paul or whoever was like Jesus Christ's best friend at the time, like who was his boy at the day. I just would like to be that guy who was just riding with him and just seeing like, what was really happening? What was going on? I mean, because he's just like, Jesus Christ is such a, iconic figure, and obviously he's God for some people in their religion, and it's just fascinating to think that somebody like that walked this earth, and just oh man, like it would have been actually, you know what, I want to change my answer because they didn't have air conditioning back then. That would suck. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
I would like to you know who I'd have a really great time being? I would love to have been David Lee Roth at the sort of height of the Van Halen, his stint with Van Halen pre 1984, up until that album, because I think that guy has lived perhaps maybe 5 lifetimes up until he was 20. He's had so many different experiences, and
Right.
is just such a crazy guy, but also like crazy intelligent and well learned. David Lee Roth for sure. Final answer.
David Lee Roth. Hell, that'd be
Solid
pretty
choice.
sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
So, is there anything that you're currently listening to?
Currently listening to, let's see, actually, I have my phone right here with me. I do stream music because, again, this is the ubiquitous way of engaging music. The last playlist I was listening to was the Release Radar playlist that basically shows you the latest releases by different artists or whatever. And so, like, the last song I heard was the new single by Miguel, which is dope as fuck. That's a really great song. What else? I've heard Cigarettes After Sex. They have a new song called Sweet. Nothing but Thieves. They have an acoustic version of Sorry. These are all great freaking tracks that I just listened to, and I'm sorry, I'm just going through all these tracks. I'm like, yeah, these are all really like my Release Radar is dope as fuck right now. And the Discover Weekly is incredible. I just have a lot to choose from. I'm going to say those are all great.
Awesome.
There's this wait, I'm not done. There's this one more that I want to shout out to. It's by this like country acoustic, like a cappella folk group. They're called Home Free, and they did this really, really moving version of John Mayer's In the Blood. And that is such a, like, oh man, it's a powerful song. And John Mayer's version is good too, but like something about just stripping a song down to just vocal and melody and lyric, obviously, right? Really sort of drives the point of that song further home. And that's definitely one I think that even people who aren't fans of country could really get behind and enjoy.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. So you brought with you today 3 songs. At the before we started, we played your song Mercedes. Then we have 2 others from you.
Through the Hell and Wicked for Days.
Yes.
That's right.
Is there any backstory to those songs that you can tell everyone about?
Well, the whole sort of premise behind Sinful Things is more or less sort of dealing with notions of what is considered or generally perceived as being sinful activities or sinful things, and sort of being involved in stuff like that, situations like that, while being in the modern day. I don't really like talking about the meaning behind albums when they're just released. I feel like people deserve some time to sort of, let it sink in. But I will say that with regards to, for example, Mercedes, it's more or less about just being fascinated by someone generally who's not particularly good for you, and sort of kind of like giving them your all and then kind of resenting them for it in a way, and just being like, you have such power over me. Fuck. Okay.
Makes sense.
Let's get through this. Yeah. And then something like Through the Hell is more or less just about meeting somebody from a different walk of life, or a darker walk of life, even, who's been a part of like some shit they've seen some shit. And just like seeing that they come from, I suppose, a walk of life that you don't necessarily agree with, but just following them. And by following them, I guess I mean like being with them and just accepting all the things that come, and that just like sort of encompasses being with them and letting them lead you through this dark tunnel that is their fucked up life. And just trying to get through that in one piece, but just being like, well, I still want to be with you. And yeah, going through that dark tunnel, trying not to get hurt. That's what Through the Hell would be. And then Wicked for Days is probably the most tender, I suppose, song off the album. And it's more or less just about surrendering to somebody who you know is also perhaps not the best person for you to be intimate with, but just surrendering to them because the feeling is powerful.
Awesome. So which one would you like to play us first? Sorry.
I'd say let's wake everybody up with some Through the Hell action.
That's what I had lined up too. Perfect.
Look at that. Simpatico. Meditation, folks. It works.
So, man, it was awesome talking to you tonight.
Yes.
Likewise, I had a really great time.
Yeah. When you, if you get some more stuff out, or if you ever want to come chat with us again, we're always down to have you back.
I had a blast, and I will most definitely take you up on that offer.
Yeah, keep in touch
Awesome.
with us and everything. So,
Absolutely.
Be great to stay in contact.
Yes, sir.
We are going to play Through the Hell next by Spells and Curses. It was great talking to you, man. You have a good night.
You too. Enjoy your Friday.
Yes.
We'll
thanks.
try.
Later, guys.
Thanks.
All right, so here is Through the Hell by Spells and Curses. Let me get it lined
Do
up
it.
here.
I'm pumped for this one.
Oh, it's coming up here. Sorry, I got to get it lined up. And it's coming.
Do it longer. I want her. The more I think that she can tell, I'm lonely, but I'm going through the hell that you put through. You know I will. You know I
Through the Hell by Spells and Curses.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I dig it. That one's awesome. They're all
Heck yeah.
awesome. But that one, man, that does get you pumped.
That was a great song.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Word. Sorry, Travis just texted me about the Hawthorne Heights show that's coming to town.
It's going to fanboy out. Oh, man, I really like that song.
Yeah, I do too.
Gets you pumped.
Yeah, it does. It was a good choice to play
Yes.
next. We got one more coming up.
Got one more.
Wicked for Days. It's going to be
Yeah.
on later.
We'll play that
So-
here shortly.
Yeah. We got some shiznit to get through here.
That we do. That we do.
You know, the headlines and whatnot's going on in the world of music.
Mm-hmm. I lost all my chat.
Brownie's got something to say, it sounds like.
Oh, God, you're about to hear a 17-year-old cat just meowing for no reason.
She's so old, you can't be mad at her.
I know. You can probably hear. Where'd she go?
I don't know. I kind of kicked her out of my way when I came back in. I don't think she liked it.
No.
There
Yes.
she is. Shut up!
Where's
Trying
she
to
at?
sleep.
She's probably...
She's by the door, I think. She was
Cat.
by the door. Kitty cat. Oh, there she is.
She's probably one now.
She's so old.
She is.
Let her out.
I'm working on it. Come on, Brownie. Let's go. Don't back talk.
Don't talk back to me, Kit Kat. Go on, get.
Go on, get done, get gone, get. All right.
So, Geoff Rickly of Brand New. Oh, Geoff Rickly is talking about Brand New science.
You were like, wait,
fiction
what?
album. Wait, what? He says there's nothing not to like about this record, and he's probably right.
Oh, he's very right.
I don't know why I wouldn't want to hold this mic all night. Like, yeah.
Probably shouldn't do those motions.
But yeah, it's a great album. We get it.
Mm-hmm. That it is. I gotta do this. I put the cameras in the worst spot. Taylor Swift's "Look What You Made Me Do" smashes a YouTube record with more than 43.2 million views in less than 24 hours.
Good God.
Yeah.
Oh, T-Swizzle.
She's gonna break the internet.
She's crazy.
Have you heard the song?
No.
It's awful.
Is it really?
It's god awful.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah. It's all it's like that scene in Pop Star where he's like, I know this album doesn't suck because I got 17 producers.
Is it really like that?
Yeah. It's really
sucks.
overproduced and it's all like,
Oh, Swizzle, what happened? Anyways. Fallout Boy. I don't know what my deal is tonight. Fallout Boy to donate proceeds from upcoming Houston concert to Hurricane Harvey relief. So wait, are they having the Houston concert?
I guess. It says upcoming. Up and coming Houston concert. Warner Brothers acquire Artery Recordings for undisclosed amount of money. Penny.
Huh. Neck Deep lands first top 10 album with The Peace and the Panic. Mm-hmm. I'll have to check that out.
Well, they're about to get one up because Brand New lands their first #1 album with science fiction.
God damn. God damn.
God damn!
Lady Gaga just became the first woman to headline Wrigley Field, and she sold it out. So.
Top that.
She sold that shiznit out.
Fire Festival's back in the news.
Yeah, good
the
for
company
them.
was placed in bankruptcy. Who didn't see that coming after that disaster?
All right.
I guess I
Yeah.
should give it a little scroll.
I keep itching my nose and stuff, and I keep forgetting I'm on a camera right here. I'm like, so we got some upcoming tours here. Heavy Music Gathering Unify announced that the Amity Affliction and Parkway Drive will be headlining the 2018 festival.
That's pretty metal.
Neat.
Knocked Loose announced that they'll be playing at Loudfest in Howell, New Jersey. The festival will take place on November 4th.
I feel like things have really slowed down from this summer.
Yeah, just couldn't keep up. And now it's like, we got 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what we do have? Some albums of the week.
We do.
What do you got, bud? I mean, I know what you got.
Yeah. It's in the news. It's number 1 for a reason. What I got for this week is brand news. Science fiction came out this year.
What?
Dude, it's so good.
Hell yeah, it is.
And the crazy thing is that it topped out at number 1, and they didn't do any marketing for it whatsoever. They just released it.
What was your album of the week last week?
Well, it was going to be that, but we
never
didn't do it.
did we? I was
No.
going to say, weren't we both going to do that last week?
Yeah, we were crunched for time.
Okay. Well, mine changed.
What
Mine
do you
is
got?
God Loves Ugly by Atmosphere. Love that album.
I've never listened to Atmosphere.
Dude, I love that album. It's awesome.
O2 hits you right in the
Yeah, it gets
Right in
you.
the feels?
It gets you.
gets you.
It's like, I get it. I get what this guy's going through.
You're like,
in
I know
2002.
exactly.
I don't know. I like it. It's always been a good go-to album for me.
Right. By the way, we just had Spells and Curses on. You can find them on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Facebook, and all of the social media. Check out their website. Give them a follow or a like on social media to stay up to date about, the upcoming events.
Yes.
Shout out to Spells and Curses for hanging out.
Yes, sir. So, do you want to play the next song before we do the main topics?
Let's do a couple topics, then we'll play the song.
Okay, we can do that.
Cap it out a little bit.
We got it. What you got, bud?
So after Logic's VMA's performance, calls to suicide prevention hotline rose by 50%. Logic's inspiring VMA's performance of 1-800-273-8255, a courageous song about the rapper's own struggles with depression and suicide thoughts, reportedly prompted a 50% uptick in calls to suicide prevention hotlines.
I wonder why. That's crazy.
Right? As reported by The Fader, the rapper took the stage at Sunday's MTV Video Music Awards with artists Alyssa Cara and Khalid.
I'm not sure.
One of those.
Khaled.
Khaled.
I don't know. That's not DJ Khaled.
No, that'd be DJ Khalid.
Oh, I don't
But
know.
it's just, I don't know. Surrounded by suicide attempt survivors to make a public plea for mental health awareness and suicide prevention with the tune from his recent album, Everybody. The empathetic performance apparently moved the needle as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline received a reported 50% increase in calls. Quote, "It's not just about the calls," John Draper, director of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, tells CNN about Logic's VMA showing. "It's about increasing awareness about suicide and suicide prevention in particular. The calls don't even begin to count the number of people who, just by listening to the song and hearing the lyrics, feel more hopeful and less alone." Logic joins a growing list of musicians helping push mental health issues to the collective fore, including recent exhortations from bands such as Foo Fighters and artists like Real Friends, Dan Lambton, and Clown from Slipknot. So that's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Raising awareness through music.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully that helps a lot of people. So
Right? I should probably scroll down
yeah,
for you.
give me a scrolly there.
Little scrolly scroll. Ooh,
It's a long one, bud.
there we
All
go.
right. Green Day's Mike Dirnt gives some advice to young musicians. In a recent interview with Ernie Ball, Mike Dirnt, bassist of Green Day, talked about his beginnings as a musician and the early days of Green Day. In the interview, he had some pretty solid advice for aspiring young musicians or those who are just starting out to learn an instrument. In the interview, Dirnt chats about being being a bass player, but explains he also plays guitar. And my introduction to playing music was his quote here is, "My introduction to playing music was probably when I realized that most of the bands that I liked played guitar. So I actually started off playing guitar. And then my mom had an old pawn shop bass, so I jumped on that. It had 2 strings, an E and an A," he says. He continues, "I met Billy in the 5th grade, and he had already played guitar. I've always gone back and forth between bass and guitar. I'm a bass player 100%, but it's funny because growing up you say you have to be either one or to be either or. Well, I've always since I was 5 years old set up at the piano and banged on it too. I don't think people should be afraid to approach any instrument." I'm really tongue-tied today. "I think your heart and soul, you are going to gravitate towards one of them eventually. But introduction to music is really about not being afraid of instruments and being able to walk up to them and put your hands on them."
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've talked to a lot of musicians that have gotten into more than one instrument for one reason or another, and it really, I think that's a great thing to do. You don't have to stick to one if you don't want to.
But don't lie to yourself. Everybody's first instrument was a recorder. They forced you.
At least around here, yeah. You had to
they're like, "Oh, here you go annoy your parents."
Play Mary Had a Little Lamb terribly every day.
But yeah, the actual first instrument that I really wanted to learn that I touched was piano.
Yeah.
And my grandma taught me how to play piano. And then after that, I didn't really do anything. And then, you get to the adolescence, you're like, yeah, aggressive music.
Can I put distortion on this piano?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when I learned guitar. And then after you learn guitar, it's pretty easy to learn bass. If I had a drum set, I could probably play drums. But,
I couldn't play drums. I have no rhythm. I took guitar lessons for years, and I suck at it. I know how.
Gotta stick with it.
I know how you play a guitar, but I don't know how to play guitar.
I know how you play the guitar, but how do you do it?
I could teach somebody else.
Be like, yeah, this chord,
guitar.
that chord. You're like, but yeah, don't ask me to strum.
No, don't ask me. I have no rhythm in my body. I can't do it.
I got it.
I don't know why, but I just don't have any rhythm.
I can feel it.
I can't get timing right. I can't, none of that.
It's hard. If you can get the rhythm,
I can't do it.
like I know lead guitarists that can't play rhythm. Like if they had to, if they had to play chords and do a rhythm track, they can't do it. But they can do sweeps, everything else, but they can't do that. I know a lot of lead guitarists like that.
I can listen to a song and I can usually tap out the rhythm with the song.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm doing it on my own, I can't keep it.
Right.
I can't. And especially when it comes to strumming, I can't.
Metronome, that helps too.
I've tried. It just overwhelms me.
That's when you speed it up to 300 beats per minute.
How does that help?
Slows you down.
I don't.
Slows the mind because you're like, I got to keep up.
I don't think that would work.
No, is it the other way? You're like, shut up.
Whatever, man.
Whatever. God.
You want to listen to the next song?
Yeah, let's check it out.
We got "Wicked for Days" from Spells
Wicked
and
for
Curses
Days
coming up right here. Yeah. It's not playing. Sorry. Hold on now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Let me try something here. There we go.
When I met you, you to me. If you let me stay, I would. I surrender to you, despite signs from fate. They say she's been wicked for days, playing all the wicked little games. She's been wicked for days, and I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know. I'm not afraid of love ever since I lost innocence. So just make me believe that a relationship runs off more than mine. I hear the voice of my defeat. You map it out, the stars that nourish me. I give into the craze so willingly, despite my own fate. But she weaves all things together. She is the earth after all. She breathes moonbeams and embers. She's the rise of the fall. She's been wicked for days, playing all the wicked little games. She's been wicked for days, and I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I know. Yeah, I know it, I know it, I after all. She breathes moonbeams and ember. She's the rise of the fall. She's been wicked for days, playing all the wicked
All right. Wicked for Days. Spells and
Man.
curses. That's where it's at.
That's baby making music.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. That dude can sing.
Yeah, he can.
All right.
Hitting those high notes.
Scoot on up into this table.
Oh, get closer to the news.
Got some Kid Rock right here coming
Oh,
up
God.
in this headline. He's opening a restaurant that will showcase local bands.
It's a cool idea, but it's unfortunate that it's Kid Rock.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding. See what I did there?
The restaurant is definitely going to be called Kid Rock's Made in Detroit, and will be located on the soon to be completed Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit. Little Caesars can afford an arena, huh? The a lot of $5 pizzas.
I'll take 500.
The 230 seat restaurant's menu will offer a sampling of classic Detroit and Southern influenced dishes, which is odd because Detroit's in the north.
Right. Like, what do you got up there?
I don't know.
You're not
Anyways,
far from Indiana. What do you have that we don't have?
I don't know. Which you can enjoy while listening to up and coming live artists and drinking a local beer or craft cocktail from the bar. And obviously the whole thing will be decorated with Kid Rock merch. Obviously. This announcement comes hot on the tails of
You
the
want
whole-
this shirt? Check it out. I got a bloody nose on stage. It's all my blood.
The announcement comes hot on the tails of the whole Kid Rock running for Senate debacle. And some may speculate that his plan all along was for the Senate buzz to generate interest in the restaurant. Note that his own website, kidrockforsenate.com, says, yes, I absolutely will use this media circus to self-promote whatever I damn well please. Good for you, Kid Rock. The restaurant has been designed as a musical incubator for smaller artists with a focus on local talent, meaning that this restaurant may actually be an opportunity for small Detroit area bands to get out of the basement in front of an audience. The incubator thing reminds me of that show, Silicon Valley. You ever watch that?
Yeah.
Where TJ Miller goes, this is an incubator, and he gets a cut of all the people that live in his house. Oh, yeah.
So, this was, I found this article. It was kind of a big deal.
Yeah?
The title was Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster's ticket sale plans is basically a scam. Taylor Swift just dropped her first single since 1989 called Look What You Made Me Do. Thanks in part to having some pretty wild samples on that track, plus a seriously hardcore rollout, the song has already peaked at #1 on the iTunes worldwide charts.
Okay.
In support of her upcoming album Reputation out in November, Taylor Swift will be embarking on tour. Let's see if I can... Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. What'd you do? You got a lot here, bud.
Yeah.
You got a lot to read. We're in for
So,
the
yeah.
long haul.
She'll also be using Ticketmaster's verified fan program for ticket sales with an interesting twist. What a twist. M. Night Shyamalan. I wonder if that's her.
What if he's involved?
I wonder if that's her manager.
Let's hope not.
But yeah, it's not a good one.
She's an alien.
Could be. She kind of looks like one.
Oh.
Just kidding. You may have used the verified fan program if you purchase tickets to Paramore's U.S. tour or 21 Pilots Tour de Columbus dates. The gist is this. Prospective ticket buyers register on Ticketmaster, then are sent a code with when tickets go on sale. The system was designed to stave off scammers.
Okay.
Come on, mouse. If anybody would like to donate a Bluetooth Mac keyboard and mouse, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
No. So Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster's partnership is a little different. Fans will still pre-register to be sent a code to purchase tickets, but after that point, they'll be able to participate in boost activities to improve their place in line. I forgot people can see what we're doing now, so I can do air quotes.
Okay.
But that's not all.
What does that do?
Well, you're about to find out.
Okay.
Jezebel's first illustrated the game that these fans get to play. The register buyers can bump up their place in line to receive a code by doing activities such as posting about the album on their social media or joining Swift's mailing list, offering a small boost.
Okay.
But the biggest boost, a high boost, comes from actually purchasing Taylor Swift merchandise, including purchasing the album up to 13 times a day from 13 different retailers, or buying official Reputation merchandise like this 24 carat gold-plated ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Scroll.
I get what they're doing, but I don't.
So what does this get you? You're what? Why is that? Aggregated?
Yeah.
Your aggravate
Aggregated.
boost, supposedly to push you forward in line with the verified fan activity meter. Meter. Oh God! It's redlining.
I'm getting hot.
Gotta get those tickets. Activity meter showing you whether you sit at a wait list or priority.
Wow.
And if you look closely, you'll find that even boost activities guarantee little. Your standing may change as more fans join the line and participate in boost activities. Keep checking back for new boost activities you can do every day, meaning nothing is guaranteed as more fans join the ticket hunger games.
So you have to buy to get into this first,
Yeah, pretty much.
but then you're still not guaranteed a ticket?
Pretty much. If you register for tickets, you'll get an access code, but with a purchase, you may improve your position in line to access tickets. No disposable income or social media accounts. Enjoy the likely fruitless wait list. If you're not boosting, it doesn't mean bad tickets. It may mean no tickets at all.
Wow.
And even if those fans without the means to enjoy a priority ticket end up waiting until the general public on sale time, they'll have lost the pre-sale opportunity for no reason other than the lack of desire to give Swift free marketing or shell out their money just for the chance to spend more money.
So what you're telling me is there's a pre-sale list that you can get on, and then you have to do these things to actually get those tickets?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a one set release date for the tickets?
What I'm guessing is their ticket, because she does arenas. Like, she just sells out arenas.
Yeah.
So what I'm guessing, those pre-order tickets are better seats. So it's
Are
like...
they?
So, true. Oh, balcony. Fuck. So...
That's shitty.
I mean, they all do it. The more money you spend, the better.
Better seats, but that's
Right.
pretty straightforward. You
Yeah,
go
that's
on-
basically like, hey, even if you spend this extra money to get better seats, you're pretty much not going to get them.
Yeah, but like the normal way is you just go on and then you
First come, first serve.
and off your price point.
Right.
So if you want to spend $500 on a ticket, you can, but you can get the crappy nosebleed seats for $20,
Right.
and you still get your ticket.
Yeah.
This is like you spend the money and then you got to get on Facebook and buy my 24 karat gold ring. And that still
To
won't
maybe get some
somewhere.
good seats.
That's shitty because there's little girls out there that are like maybe getting these tickets for their birthday or something.
Right.
And they're like, maybe their grandma's buying. Like, I'm going to buy my granddaughter some Taylor Swift tickets. And then they're like,
But I'm not going.
but then they're like, Grandma, you got to boost this on Facebook for 17 weeks in advance so I can get these tickets.
What's Facebook?
Yeah, it's bullshit. You should be able to go just buy the ticket. Just let me buy
Exactly.
the ticket.
Just let people buy the fucking ticket.
Yeah. Do the verified tickets so that you can't get people going in there and buying every ticket in the first 5 minutes of an opening.
This is why I like metal.
Yeah, I don't know. That's shitty. I think you make it simple. You sell
Right.
you'll sell merch.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to sell Taylor Swift, you're selling plenty of shit. You don't need
Selling way too
play,
much shit.
to play games.
Right.
You don't need to play the games.
Yeah.
Just sell your fucking tickets.
Yeah, quit Ben Affleck and yourself and quit the reindeer games.
God, that's stupid. I don't like that.
No,
That's
it's awful.
mean. That's a mean because there's so many people out there. Like, there's some kid out there that wants tickets to Taylor Swift,
right.
and they just want the tickets to go see Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Oh, and these kids aren't buying the tickets; their parents are buying them. So, but there's nothing wrong with that. Your parents buying you the tickets, and it's a Taylor Swift concert. There's nothing wrong with buying your kid a Taylor Swift ticket.
right.
It's a great concert to take your kid to. But now you got to play a game the whole time. Come on.
Yeah,
That's
it's not worth it.
It's not.
That would actually turn me away.
And she's not. It's not like Taylor Swift is losing fans. She doesn't
Right.
need to do something to.
She's good.
Yeah, she doesn't need to play these stupid games.
No.
I don't like it. I think it's really selling out there. Like you really took it too far.
That's like you've already sold out, and then you're like,
How can I ultra sell out?
Yeah, that's like a whole other level above Supra,
Yeah. What a bitch move.
right? God.
Don't like it. Not a fan of that.
Nope.
Not gonna listen
Nope.
to your new song, Taylor.
But I could tell you, just don't. It's awful.
I mean, Taylor Swift's always been talented, I thought, but
You remember how like Katy
She's
Perry
been-
just like recently just went
lost her mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we're heading.
That sucks. Oh, well, I guess it happens to the best.
Yeah, pretty soon she's gonna shave her head and be like, Britney did it. Why can't I?
So, that's all we had, I guess.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the show. You're
That's
still
the
here.
show.
You're still here.
I'm not even here. I'm leaving.
Go home.
See ya.
But before we leave, don't forget to check out Spells and Curses.
For sure.
Their what was their
For
website?
sure.
Spellsandcurse.es.
Let me get it here because he said it and I didn't write it down as he was saying it.
While he's looking that up, you can also find us on Facebook.